Good morning, YouTube. How's everybody doing on this scorching, wonderful day that we have been blessed with? Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Appreciate the people that have stopped by. Even if you didn't make a comment, I definitely still appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, I am serious about becoming the next president of the United States, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today I'm here to talk about drinking and driving. Society back in the day, when someone was inebriated or what they call drunk, they used to take them to the police station and put them in jail overnight. They would sober up and then they would let them go on their way. No violations, no fines. But over time, people kept being inebriated and actually driving their cars. And so new laws came into place that now if you get caught drinking and driving or under the influence of drugs, you're arrested and you're given fines and community service, all types of things. That's what I hear. But so this is how we get to this story here. A friend of mine called me. It was a Friday. I think they called me like Thursday, and was like, "Yeah, new club opening up. Come go with me." So I was like, "Cool. After I get off of work, I'm gonna come over to your house." And, we'll follow each other to the club. So when you're ready to leave, you can leave. When I'm ready to leave, I can leave. My friend was like, cool. So I work all day. I'm pretty tired because I get up early in the mornings, even now. I still get up very, very early. So I'm tired. So I'm sitting. I done went home and got dressed and drove all the way to their house. And I'm sitting there waiting on them to get ready. So no big deal. But I noticed that this person is drinking. So I was like, oh man, I don't want to be really involved in that. And so when we were getting ready to leave, I said, well, why don't I drive my car and just meet you down there, right? Because we had a discussion of driving together when I got to the house. So I was like, well, I think I should drive my car because you looking fluffy. So my fault, but I let them convince me to go in their car. And I should not have done that. You should always follow your first mind because your first mind is what they say the right mind. And I really should have followed that. And so we get in the car. So no, this is what I say. Let me backtrack. I say, well, why don't I drive your car because you're fluffy, and that way you can continue to do what you're doing and you're safe because you're with me, right? Perfect solution. You don't have to drive. You got your little chauffeur, because at that time I had never drank alcohol because I didn't start drinking alcohol till I was 50. After 50, actually. And I still just sip. I act like I'm doing something, but I ain't doing nothing. So, so I'm giving her solutions. I'm giving her ways out for her safety, my safety, community safety, for real. So now we get to driving and, we got the music on. It's Friday night. People honking at us. We hollering at people, whatever. So we get on the main thoroughfare and we're going. And I'm trying to keep her focused, motivated, and the whole 9 yards. So she ends up running into the back of a taxi. And at the time of the collision, thank God I had my seatbelt on because the collision was so hard that it shot me to the windshield and knocked the brakes off me. So I'm sitting there with a concussion, woozy, as all I'm talking about woozy, where you know how you just kind of like, oh, you know, you don't even know what realm you're in, right? So I'm woozy. I look up and I see two of the most biggest dudes ever getting out the back of this taxi. And I'm saying to myself, Val, you're vulnerable right now because you allowed yourself to get in this situation. You're in this situation now. These two big dudes. They look like they were Samoan dudes. Big as all, angry. I could tell by the walk. Now, I'm not, listen, I'm woozy. Not really in control of being able to walk and all this type of stuff. So I said, Val, you got to save both of y'all because they gonna wreak some damage, some havoc, something. They mad. So I'm sitting there, I'm woozy, I'm half in, I'm half out. Now all this happens from this is just their car is right here. So now I'm making all these decisions woozy as all get out, quick as hell. Quick as heck, my bad. So I turned and looked to the person who was driving and I started cursing them out. I said, I gave you options. Now look at these two dudes. We might get hurt in this situation. I said, but when they come to the car, you keep your mouth shut and we can make this out, come out of this situation in one piece. Now, let me go back. If you don't know me, I'm from a city called Detroit, Michigan. And in Detroit, Michigan, basically it's, if you're not bothering me, I'm not bothering you. But if you do something untoward to somebody, they're going to retaliate, right? Not in all situations, but in bad situations. So I'm sitting there, I'm really cursing her out. Really, at the same time, I'm cursing myself out too, but I'm cursing at her because she could have made the decision to let me drive because she know I wasn't drinking and that I've always been basically a safe driver. And usually, all my friends know I didn't drink. So I was always the designated driver. I just pulled my car up, grab one of their cars, everybody pile in, bam, we out. Because they know they can get fluffy as they want. And Val gonna drive us home. She gonna make sure we safe. She ain't gonna let nothing happen to us in no environments or none of that. She gonna make sure we good, so we trust her with our safety. So this person knew this. And so when they got to the window, the person who was driving rolled down the window. But I done made something up in my mind real quick, right? And I say to them, oh, don't worry about it, dog. I got this. So I'm cussing her out. I'm cussing her out loud so bad that the two dudes felt sorry for her and they left. And, everybody exchanged, you know, IDs and all that kind of stuff, but the rage and all that in their eye had left because when I tell you that I was really on one. And so I kind of overperformed it for them because I knew if I wasn't doing that, that their rage would come out because it's two chicks. They could clearly see that this person was Fluffy. So, people gonna clown on you. So I say to myself, I said, the car could run. And I said, no, I'm not going another step in this vehicle. I know I'm woozy, woozy, woozy. So I get out of the car. We're in the middle of the street. We're in the turning lane. So I get out of the car. I go on the corner by a store. A taxi comes by. I wave the taxi down. I'm still woozy, woozy. The taxi driver was tripping and all kind of crazy stuff. But I'm woozy. I got a concussion. I'm in and out. So I'm like, just take me home, whatever. So he takes me home. I get out. I try to recover, right? And so 3 days go by. And I'm not sure if I called my friend or my friend called me. And the conversation went like this. Hey, how you doing? I was like, well, I'm not doing so well, but I'm doing better from the last time I saw you. And they said, what are you talking about? I said, you don't remember the car accident that we were in and that I had to get out of your car while having a concussion in the middle of a dangerous neighborhood, catch a cab, and come home. It's 3 days later. You've forgotten that you were in an accident. I said, what if my people would have had to bury me today? And you don't even remember that you got me into this accident. And so, yeah, I was really, really, really pissed. And, I kind of weaned myself off of them. Good people. Now, don't get me wrong. This person is some of the best people you could meet in your life. But when people are doing certain things that's not conducive to their well-being and others' well-being, you have to back off if you're not condoning that type of behavior. So that's what I did. And this person, like I said, best person in the world. But when they on that fluffy stuff, it wasn't a good look. So the moral of the story is, if you are out with your friends and they're being fluffy, over drinking, whatever, take their keys. Doesn't matter if they get mad at you, because just imagine. Somebody gets you into an accident, but forgot they got you into an accident, and you could have not even been on this earth anymore. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm just saying. People think before you do what you're doing. Because it could save your life, and it could save someone else's life. The decision is always yours, but we all have to make better decisions. My decision was bad, and knowing that this person was drinking before we left, and then allowing myself to override my good judgment. So I was culpable in it just as well as that other person was. So I'm saying to all people, I know people. Some people say, "Oh, I drive better when I'm messed up." I try to tell them, "No, you don't. You just think that you do because you're used to doing what you usually do." And to other people, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So people, look out for yourself, look out for others, because it's so many instances of people's families, little kids, old people, just all people losing their lives because we are out here making bad decisions. These bad decisions just don't affect us. They're affecting communities. They're affecting families. Whole families gone in one failed swoop. That's crazy. So please, we got Uber, we got Lyft, we got taxis, we even got Waymo, we got and hopefully you got friends too that you could call if you inebriated and say, come pick me up, cause I'm a little too fluffy. I'm just a little too fluffy. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. If you a friend, I know it's sometimes people wake you up in the middle of the night and be like, I need your help. But in these instances, go out your way to help them, because that's saving you. You might be saving a lot of people's lives, and that it is what it is. But YouTube, I appreciate you guys listening. Tell me what you think about these people drinking and driving and causing and wreaking havoc. This was just a story of an experience that I went through. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. So, hey, YouTube, I'm out of here.